all of my day bed rotting and watching some TikTok videos because I was hanging out with my friends for the last 2 days and I realized that even though I did a lot of painting, thank God for that, but I just felt I was not doing anything because I didn't deal with my business or my social media or anything. So today my plans are finishing my paintings, feeling a bit better, so I'm gonna put a little bit makeup so I can feel pretty and I can feel like I'm going to work even though I'm just gonna stay in my room. So I'm just gonna take care of around, and it's really messy right now, and then I'm gonna put some nice clothes and then we are gonna start painting. Unfortunately, I already have wrist pain even before I started because if you don't know, I have this wrist injury that started 8 months ago because I was drawing, then turned out to chronic pain, which I don't know why, and now I'm still struggling with it, and it really makes me inconsistent about the stuff I want to do, such as painting or business, because I never know how much pain I will have during the day, and even though I have less pain, it's still pretty painful to work with it. So whatever. I'm gonna take care of my desk now. Finished my first painting and it looks like this right now, and to be honest, I'm pretty proud of it right now. So either way, I'm just gonna go through to sleep or I'm just gonna play one game because I feel like I kind of deserve it because I had a very stressful day and I felt like shit, but I did paint anyway because that's what I have to do. No, I'm joking. It really felt better to paint. And I'm working on this little landscape watercolor project right now. My goal is making 100 watercolor landscape paintings, and my goal for that is because I realized that for most of my art and slash craft experiences, I almost every single time quit very early, even before that I really learned something about it, or even before I realized if it actually suits me or not. So I decided to try this with watercolor. Was almost like 6 years or 7 year-ish time in my life, and I always enjoyed painting with watercolor. It just feels like pretty easy, cozy, and like, I don't know, it suits me. So I decided to try this project with watercolor, and if I end up liking it, then I can continue my life as a watercolor artist, or I don't know, since until the time that I'm gonna change my mind. So yeah, and I'm gonna have a good sleep or just a game and sleep. Then tomorrow I think I will like look again and think about if I can do different stuff or like if it's really done. Morning guys, so today is Valentine's Day and I woke up like feeling like shit, so nothing was different from yesterday, and I spent I guess 1 hour with crying, but I'm okay now. I'm okay. I don't know why this all depressive stuff happening, because I'm not close to my PMS, or I'm not gonna get my period, or everything is kind of regularly fine, like nothing weird or really sad happened. It's just me being me. And I realized that most of the reason why I feel like shit is just this inner voice of me that literally yelling at me all the time that I'm not doing enough, I'm not making enough money, I'm not painting good enough, I'm not, you know, sharing enough. It's just like there is a lot of fucking comparison that's going inside of my mind, and it just makes me feel like shit. And I'm gonna talk about this a little bit while I'm making my hair, because I have to go to my tour. If you don't know that, I'm also working as a tour guide for part-time. I mean, it's even less than part-time because it's winter right now, so there's not a lot of tourists around, but it helps a little bit to pay the bills, whatever. So I have a tour today and it's 3 p.m. right now, and my tour is at 5 p.m. and I have to leave the house in 10 minutes, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I felt, and I think why it's so important to realize that as an individual, especially in this age of technology and everything. Is my camera, I don't know, I hope it's better. Whatever. So I know that a lot of people online talking about like brain rot, or being offline is new cool or whatever, and I definitely do think they are right. Like, I do know that social media affects my life, everybody's life a lot, and I do know that people are really doesn't know the harm that they are giving themselves in general with social media, and I think it's something too risky and horrible because we just genuinely don't realize what's going on. And I think people should think about it more. And I realized today that most of the problems that I'm having, I mean, of course I have this wrist injury, and of course it's sad, it makes me frustrated and overwhelmed, and moving back to my parents' house after years, like, all of these reasons are definitely valid to be sad and overwhelmed, but none of them are valid to be like, I mean, I'm not gonna say valid, but none of them can make me unresponsible for the being self of myself, like, if that makes any sense. I'm having a struggle with English right now. The thing I'm trying to say, that me crashing out and believing like I'm not good enough, I will never reach my goals, yada yada yada, these are not can be the solutions of the things I'm feeling. Like, the reason why I'm feeling bad or not enough with my art is not my art is not good enough. It's because I'm comparing myself with others. There is literally no barrier of being an artist. I mean, of course you can look at people's different skills, but when you look at history, or when you look at, oh my god, my hair is burning, this is not good, I have to stop doing this, whatever. Like, the reason why most artists are successful, it's not because they are the most skilled artists. They are usually like most creative people. They are people who are coming from different cultures, different mindset, different values, people who can express themselves different ways. And when you look at like not the creative side, but when you look at from even the industrial side, even the capitalist side, it's still pretty similar to that from what I saw. Like, obviously skilled people are always, I mean, better than the people who doesn't have those skills, but even between skilled people, most of companies or productions are still looking for valuable, different, artists in general. I don't know, that's how I feel. So the thing I was trying to say, that I know that social media is literally the reason why I'm crushing myself so bad, because I'm always comparing myself with other artists. I don't know, just like regular people around the world. It's just like, I don't know. I am like, I know myself that I have to stop doing that. That is wrong for my mental health and everything, and I'm trying so hard to stop it, but it feels like at some point that is some kind of poison that goes inside of my mind, and I don't even realize. Like, it's just, it builds that barrier inside of your mind that says you have to be here in your 20, you have to be here at your like 25, it doesn't matter, you have to make this amount of money, you have to have that amount of followers or subscribers, or it's always the same. And it's the fucking social media, I swear to god. So I did decide that I'm gonna watch less content, definitely less content, because it makes me feel like shit. And I do want to like be more self-aware of my thoughts. Like, I want to think more about why I feel like I'm not enough right now, why I feel like I am bad at art, like why I feel like I'm a failure. Like, I know everybody feels those feelings, and I know that the reason why I'm feeling them is not like I'm, I don't know, crazy or anything. It just happens. It's life is fucking hard, man. I mean, especially if you're a starving artist. But my point is, I want to be a little bit more consciousness with the problems that I'm having, because I did realize most of my problems are not the problems that I think I have. I mean, and I think it's same for a lot of people. like even for my friends or people I know from social media, it's like we are always feeling like we have this huge problem, or like problems in general. For example, not making enough money, or not being able to go to travel, or not being in love, yada yada yada. But the problem is, the reason why you are thinking those are your problems is because somebody or like society telling you you have to have those problems, or you have to have those things, so you are feeling like you have a problem because you don't have them. Like, why in the world I feel like I have to have this amount of money monthly in my bank account? Like, do I really exactly need that money? Or even if I do need, like, why do I think, or why would it make sense that feeling bad about it and crashing out and like getting depressive each day is just, is it gonna make that better, that problem? It's like I need my most stable version, my most consistent version, my most, like, my better version to work on my problems instead of just crashing out. I think I'm gonna back around like 10 p.m. From my tour, and my plan is, if I have the energy, if I don't, that's completely fine, but if I have the energy, then I want to work on my painting. Another painting that is unfinished one, which is this one. I don't know what I feel about this. I don't know. This is actually a second version, a second painting of my series of stuck, peel in stuck series. I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still trying to find a way to express my emotions in a better way that people can also relate. But shortly, it's just a series about feeling stuck in positions or places that you feel like you don't have to be there, or you have to like get it out, but the environment is just looks the opposite of the feelings that you are having, so you just feel like you don't fit in. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much because I'm still in the process of evolving, and I didn't share anything actually about this on my Instagram channel because, like I said, I guess I wanted to be a little bit perfect, because it's something that is like highly emotional for me. It's like it comes from my own traumas and my own experiences. The first painting of this series is just me, and it comes from my experience. I just painted when I was working in a cafe, and I was really depressive that time. So yeah, that's all. And now I'm gonna go to my tour, and maybe I can have a coffee just before the tour. Oh my god, it's too late. Okay, I'm just gonna make it right before the tour starts, I guess. So see you guys. I'm just back from my tour, and I had the craziest work day ever. I had to deal with cops, I was stuck in traffic, my bank card was not working, my public transportation card was not working. Like, everything that can go wrong did go wrong, and I was so stressed. I was this close to cry in the middle of the street with like tourists around me, and I am so stressed. I am so glad that the day is over and everything is like somehow, some way done. Like, the only thing I want to do right now is just sit in and playing games, or just laying down on my bed and thinking about my life. But I'm gonna paint, and I'm gonna continue in this pace that I mentioned earlier. And it just, today I was thinking about like the reason why I started painting and how it evolved, and the point in my life that for art. And a few days ago, I was, like I mentioned, I was staying in my friend's house. So she's also an artist, and she's a young artist who is like very skilled, has a very specific style. And we were just talking, and she also mentioned about her problems and her life in general, and she said that how art feels like a secure and happy spot in her life, and how she feels much more relaxed when she is just drawing. That was the moment I realized that how it's different for me in my life right now. I just found myself to prove my identity with art, to make sure that people are understand me, to make sure that I'm able to express. Like, there was so many points I had to reach with my art, and there was so many things that I felt insecure about, and I was like unsure about myself. And at some point I started feeling like art is become something in general too much overwhelming to me, and that started when I first being serious with my art, to be honest. So that's my first time in my life I really do understand people when they are talking about maybe it's better if you are doing as a hobby. And every time when I hear that, I felt like, oh my god, this is such a lie. Like, how can you say that? How can you understand the position I am in right now? How can you understand this is so important to me? And now I realized maybe that should be the reason. If something is really important to you, and if you really do enjoy doing, and if you really do that thing for the sake of doing that thing, then it's probably better if it's just a hobby. Because every single time when you try to turn something into a money machine, it just literally ruins the joy. And I think, I mean, I'm not trying to say this as a depressive thing, but I'm trying to say when it gets the whole business part, and especially if you don't have a support system or a mentor, or if you don't know or experience about what are you doing, it's just an easier way to get burned out, which is happened to me. And it was a burnt out that is not just mental but also physical. So that's literally the reason why I'm having pain all the day in my life right now. Like, I'm not trying to be depressive, but I did really miss the part of my life that I enjoyed painting so much, just because I enjoyed painting. And I mean, it doesn't mean that I regret my decision. I still do want to become an independent full-time artist, and I will still work for it because it's still the thing that I want to do. I think I'm trying to say I'm glad I'm still doing this, and I really appreciate the time and effort that I put into art for my whole life. But just realizing the difference between I was years ago and now with my art just makes me a little bit more conscious about my emotions and my process. And that's why I want to focus more why I want to do art and what is the reason that I started this and what I want to tell to people, more than how can I sell this or how can I do this or how people can pay to this. And I know that art and business are really different topics, and most of artists are usually not focusing on business part when they have to. And I think that most of the starving artists art is actually coming from this, because artists in general never had the chance to get good at business, or there is not enough business education in art schools and everything. But in general, I think the line between them is way thinner than people think. And the most important thing is just, I think, going back and forth on that line, because you will never find that linear, I don't know, life you probably imagined. Like, there will be never a point that is stable. I mean, maybe if you are not an expert who is doing that thing for like many years. And I think it's okay to go back and forth. I think it's okay to focus on your craft for some time, especially if you feel burnt out, or if you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know why I started this. If you feel lost and burnout, it's probably the goal is going back to your childlike joy and trying to figure out the way that why are you actually making that craft. I realized I forget to shoot an outro, so if you watched until here, thanks for that. I also would love to hear your thoughts, and if you want, you can find me also on Instagram and Patreon. See you soon!